Hi, it's Amy Chappell from Amy Designs, and today I'm here to talk to you about raw edge applique. Raw edge applique is a fun way to add interest and embellishments to all kinds of different projects. Today we're going to be working on a mini quilt, but this same technique can be used in lots of different ways. We're going to begin with getting our fusible adhesive. Now this product is one that I really like. It's from ThermoWeb. And I like it because it's already in sheets that I can just print off on my printer, so I don't have to worry about tracing them. But you can find all different kinds of fusible adhesive products. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to what kind of fusible adhesive you're getting. There are all different ranges from super stretchy and lightweight to super duty that you can't sew. So if this is an application that you're going to want to be able to sew, you need to make sure that it's a sewable type. And if it's something that you aren't going to be able to sew, you want to make sure that you're going for the ultra hold or heavier version of your fusible adhesive. Once you have your adhesive, then you're going to want to print or trace your pattern onto the paper side of your adhesive. So you'll see that one side is paper and the other side is kind of shiny and a little bit rough, and that's the glue. So you want to make sure that you're tracing and writing on the paper side. And then you want to separate your pattern pieces, making sure that you leave a slight margin of adhesive all the way around. You want to make sure that you leave that margin so that your adhesive goes all the way from one edge to the other of your applique pieces to make sure that you get them nice and stuck to your project. The next thing that you're going to want to do is take that pattern piece and you want to fuse it to the wrong side of the fabric that you've chosen for that piece. You want to follow the manufacturer's directions on the package of whatever fusible adhesive you're using and fuse it well to the back of that fabric. In my case, I need an iron at medium heat with no steam for just a couple of seconds to do that first fusing. I like to let it cool before I cut it out. So then here's a piece that is already cut out, and you see I've just cut along that printed line of the pattern. The next thing that you're going to do is pull away this paper backing to reveal the adhesive. It should be shiny and smooth on one side as that glue has now transferred onto our fabric. Then you're going to take your background fabric or whatever project it is that you're going to fuse your piece onto, and you want to make sure that you've cleared away any lint or anything that's gonna, especially if it's big or bumpy, you don't want it to show up behind it. Then you're going to position it how you like. And then again, following the manufacturer's instructions, oftentimes the time frame and the amount of time you need to get it to adhere is gonna be different for the second step versus the first. So you wanna make sure you're paying attention to that. But then you're just going to fuse that into place. And this one takes a little bit longer. Then once it's fused into place, I will finish adding on all of the layers. So in this case, I'm going to add this little heart to it. Once I have all the layers fused, I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew around all of the edges. If it's a project that's going to be used heavily or on something that's not going to have some support behind it, I would recommend using a thicker zigzag stitch that's a little bit closer together to give it a really good secure stitch down around it. Where this is just going to be a mini quilt, I will just use a straight stitch and go around just the outer edge of it. But this is also a time that you could use those fun decorative stitches on your machine. You could use a blanket stitch or whatever you want to stitch around all of the pieces of applique on your project. After that, in this case, we're going to quilt it and bind it, and then we'll have a darling mini quilt for our house. Or you can, do it onto clothing, any other kind of project that you want. So I hope this little explanation of raw edge applique has been helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.